afternoon, welcome back to the Magnificent Mags channel. Sorry my voice is a bit croaky here at a beautiful looking time out today. It's sun drenched, well it's back out now, the clouds decided to cover it up before, but look at that man. I've even got you haven't even got a coat on. That's how nice it is, and that's how it feels like with Newcastle United at the moment, doesn't it? The sun is still shining on us. We're responding in emphatic fashion to lose at Aston Villa. Oh, Christ, look at me hair with the wind. Why does the wind always pick up when I'm doing these videos? Anyway, yes, before I begin, as usual, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Turn on those notifications on all the social media platforms, and the same my friends at NUSC 360, Magpie 24/7, and Magpie. So anyway, yes, getting into the game. Yeah, we're definitely responding in emphatic fashion, but more the second half. Like I said in my quick post-match reaction when I left St James's yesterday, it was a frustrating half. Now, the news before the game, obviously, Eddie Howe was back on the touchline, but he admitted in his post-match press conference afterwards that he didn't use his voice as much, but the players don't really listen as much. That they're more as a calming influence on to pass on instructions. But yeah, so Jason Tyndall, they were like interchanging between one another. I was keeping an eye on that from the corner, but it was just good to see him back, and it's good that we know that the team's been in good hands without him, but you'd rather see him back. And as he said in his pre-match press conference, he was still recovering in his body, but he was almost 100% mentally, and he was ready to be back to work. And like I said, I think it was expedited by the defeated Villa, and we needed a reaction, and the perfect game in which to bounce back when you lose so heavily to a team as good as Aston Villa. Here's Ipswich Town at home, because they were all but relegated, and they are now. 3-0 defeat. As I said, they didn't really come here with any sort of game plan other than to frustrate her and try and stifle her. They basically sat in the low block. We were talking about it all game in the stands, but they did. They come and sat in the low block. They were trying long balls, and they were trying to frustrate some more players. I mean, I don't even really want to go on too much more about Michael Salisbury, but my God, honestly, I've seen some shocking refereeing performances in my time, and not just him, but his team as well. He had a shocker all game. Look, I said yesterday in my reaction video leaving the ground that you can accept that a team comes here and have a game plan. That's up to them. You can do what you like. It's your team. You've got to try and win and get the points. But you've got to have a referee who's competent, who's got a decent handle on the game. But he didn't at all. I mean, that one, I think it was Sam Morse he got away with on Joe Willock. That was an absolute shocker on him. And how he didn't get a red card, honestly, I'll never know. But yeah, that one. And then the one that frustrated us, the one that I forgot about yesterday when I was talking about it, was Bruno's disallowed goal. Now, you know, some people have come back and said today to us that it was obvious why it was disallowed. Bruno put his eyes on the keeper, but I'm sorry, like, but you know what, you used to have to be a bit mad, a bit loopy to be a goalkeeper, they said. They said it was a position you had to be crazy, you love getting shots fired at you, but now they're all soft as clots. They're soft as shite. Like, I've never seen so much protection given to them as the last few seasons, and that was just awful. Like, Bruno just stood his ground, and the keeper went into him to initiate contact, hoping the decision would be given, and lo and behold, it was. I knew it wasn't the right decision at the time, and looking at it back 2, 3, 4 times, I've even slept on it, and I still agree now. It was an absolute shocker. But fortunately, in the end, it didn't matter. What a first half, though. I mean, team news, obviously Botman was back in the squad. He got on in the end when we could make the changes. That was fantastic. It's great to see him back. We've got another option in there, and it was good to see him get his minutes. Obviously, I believe we took Fabian Schär off near the end, like, to give Botman obviously some game time. A game he was comfortable, and he wouldn't overexert himself. And obviously Fabian Schär had the hamstring tweak, like that worry after Villa Park, so it was job done in the case of get Sven on the pitch. But yeah, he was back. But someone who wasn't there was Joe Linton. Now it's been confirmed he's went for a scan for a knee injury. That's all the reports. So he is out now. Again, we didn't really need him in a game like yesterday against a team who had just come and sit in. Yes, they probably had a decent 20-25 minutes, but like I believe, honestly, some people said they played well. I don't believe they did. And yeah, it's a game you can afford to miss them in. But yeah, I do think we will miss them maybe next weekend when we're down there at Brighton. But also Chelsea, they're the games where he really steps up. And he loves to have that physical battle and get stuck in with everyone. So we definitely will miss him there. But Joe Willock came in his place. Now, I'm not really going to pile in on Joe Willock because, look, he hasn't had the minutes. And we all know, we've seen about Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes, when he's had minutes and running the team, he's been playing well. And he played well again yesterday, that's proof of it. But yeah, the fact that Joe Willock, he's the type of player with a runner, long legs, carries you up the pitch. He's someone that does need a run in the team, and he might get that now. Joe Linton, Eddie Howe said, has been carrying that knee injury and playing through the pain for a while. So this could be the chance where Joe Willock gets a run in the team. Now, yeah, he was getting targeted. I don't know if at times they thought he had a Joe Linton mask on. Like I said, that absolute stinker from Morsey on him. But yeah, I don't want to be too harsh on him. Did he play too well? No. Sometimes he can go missing. But you know what? Give him a run in the team for a little bit and see how he does. But others who played well, I've just got to obviously praise Kieran Trippier. Well, not even just that. Trippier, I said probably Murphy might be the man of the match. But looking back at the highlights, because some things you're trying to remember straight after the game and the heat of the moment and sum it up. But looking at it back, I honestly believe Trippier was man of the match. That's not taking anything away from Murphy. I felt all four players on both flanks were excellent. Murphy, Trippier, Barnes and Livramento, they were brilliant yesterday. And obviously, as usual, no surprise here, Sandro Tonali again was everywhere. But yeah, going through that first half, obviously I've mentioned the game plan that they had, but in a way I said, like, it was frustrating, but at the same time it was exciting. It was bonkers the way it played out. Honestly, like, the amount of chances we had. I mean, I've looked back at the chances after the game, and because I was curious by the number of crosses we did. Now, I looked at the stats, and it was absolutely bonkers. But we had 11 corners. We've done 11 corners. Sorry, 12 crosses, and 20. I was going to say 26 crosses. No, it was 26% of crosses came off. So that means we had 46 crosses in total. So we absolutely pummeled them from the wings. And yeah, Jacob Murphy and Kieran Trippier destroyed them on that side. But some people are mentioning it. It was discussed after the game. Isak wasn't in there at times. Why wasn't he? Well, he does a job elsewhere. He's still got 3 goals in 6 games since the final. And also, he was on the score sheet again yesterday. He's got his 26th goal of the season. And in all competitions, 22 in the league. So he's still doing it. Yes, I believe his movement's a bit off, but you know what? Good striker still get the goals. And yeah, Murphy was excellent. And yeah, Isak's got more to his game though. He pulls off to the left. He can drop deep. He creates space for others. He brings them into play. Starts moves off. And look at that. He got that. He got their right back sent off yesterday. I mean, what he was doing though, my God, I just do not get that. Like, you're on a yellow, and why would you bring a player down? But it's the fact that the dive in the first place, obviously we're in the corner, and when he came through, you could tell it was a dive straight away. It was absolutely pathetic, and rightly so, he got the yellow card. But why you would do that when you're on a yellow card? And pull him down. It was great from Isak when it was played into him, to play it round him with one touch. And he was away from him. Why you pull him down? Look, I know you're down. Your confidence might be a bit shot, but it's honestly, it's absolutely bonkers. And I checked the stat before. The relegated teams have conceded 230 between them. And they fall into this same trap. Everyone's obsessed with Guardiola's style of football, but most of them don't realise that the gulf for coming up between the two leagues, as I said yesterday, is massive. And they try and play the same way, so they'll have two centre-backs, they'll split them, and they'll try and carry the ball or play short passes out, or the keeper tries short passes. It just doesn't work. And especially when you're at St James's against a team like us who press, it's honestly, I just do not get why they do that. So many teams push the suicide button, and I know they were down, and would they have anything to lose? No, they probably knew it, but why they still keep doing it over and over again? Like, even as an opposition fan, I'm laughing, thinking, you've gifted with this, but why they keep doing it as well? I'm still pulling my hair out filling, because it's just nuts. I don't know why they do it. I say it all the time. Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over. They keep doing it, especially against us up here, and expecting different results. And it just doesn't work. And it resulted in that for the red card, nuts, but it made the game for them over as a contest, even still at 0-0. And they were ran into the ground from then on out, which was stamina, intensity, and Kieran Trippier was at the heart of all that. Created 3 big chances, got 2 assists. So he's fantastic at the moment. And I mean, the only downside I see with Trippier now he's got his form back is the fact that, 1 second, don't want to be ran over. That would be some edit from the video. Yeah, the only thing, downside with Trippier, now he's back in the form of his life, is his age. Honestly, he's like 34, coming up 35 later on the year. That's the only thing against him, because I've never seen him in such fantastic form as he has been, well, probably in 2025, to be honest. You can tell, like, his personal life's nothing to do with anyone. That's his business, no one else's. But it's good to see that his mindset's back in the right place. Whatever weight was on his shoulders is gone, and he was superb yesterday. But him and Murphy, I mean, as I kept touching on there, Murphy, the amount of chances he put into that box and no one was on the end of, I'm not just blaming Isaac, because the team have been sharing the goals out lately, but yeah, it was so frustrating. We had first half though, like, I mean, you had Bruno's chance that was cleared off the line. You had Tonali's when Murphy dragged the ball back to him, like, and he hit it off the air. I think it was where the bar and the post meet, so that was another chance. Obviously, Isaac had a header over. He also volleyed over. I mean, I was there in the stands. I actually went like that at one point, put my hands in the air, go, what the hell would it take? But I was still laughing as well at the fact that we're peppering them so much. And it's just like, something's got to give. But I turned round to the lads who sit around us, like Adam and Chris and that, and I just went, look, it's just a matter of time. They can't hold out like this for the entirety of the game. And obviously they didn't. And yeah, we'll just put them to the sword after that. I mean, again, stupid decision making. And Ciso can plead all he likes that it wasn't a penalty against Jacob Murphy, but it was. Like Bruno's was a goal, that was a penalty, and I'm glad, even though so many decisions and it was so stop-start. That's why the first half was frustrating. But the fact that it had to go to VAR to review something like that. Get in here. The fact that it had to go to VAR for something like that, honestly, is crazy. But I'm glad the right decision was come to. You can tell it was a clear pull. And the fact that in Ciso, he was like that waving his finger. Then you look at him in the replays and he's walking away, he's like this. Like that, eyes down. So, yeah, you know he's guilty, and he's hoping that the performance has been that incompetent so far that they're gonna just stick to the on-field decision. But no, justice was done. Came to Alexander Isak. And Alexander Isak slotted it away. Yeah, I don't think it was right in the corner, but there was enough power on it to beat the keeper. And then second half, as I said yesterday in my video, it was a procession. Had the sun loungers out. Like I said, my metaphor is could have beat a German to the sun lounger yesterday. We're that comfortable, we had all the time in the world. Nick Pope, when he got it, they shouted shoot at one point. I mean, that's how funny it was, the fact that he had nothing to do. If it wasn't such a warm day, he would have froze to death. Honestly, someone should have put a coat on him if it was any colder. But Yeah, the second half was a stroll. It was just a matter of would we go for more goals? Will we play with a higher intensity, or will we just conserve our energy? And you know, I think it was a mix of both, which I'm happy with. Again, some might say, oh, just go and add 4, 5, 6. It's disgraceful. It was only 3-0. It's not Football Manager. It's not FIFA. Players are actual human beings that have to conserve themselves. And yes, we've got, well, it's now 7 days, but we had 8 days between yesterday and Brighton next Sunday. Obviously being Sunday now, but you can't just keep running and adding goals. It doesn't work like that. But the fact we've got 3 goals and we've reversed the 3 goals that were lost at Villa, losing 4-1, we've corrected that. Chelsea, who were level with them, yes, they beat Everton in the early kick-off at 12:30. So the fact that we've reversed the goals that we had at Villa Park that came off, we've added those 3 back on, and we're better than Chelsea's goal difference by 2. And importantly, we're still ahead of them, and we've still got to play them after Brighton up here 2 weeks today. And that game's looking monumental now. We've just got to hope, with Brighton being a bogey ground, that I don't know if we've ever won there. No, we've never beat Brighton at their stadium in the top division in our history. Last win there was the 28th of February 2017. Mo Diarmi and Ioti Perez were the goals, but that was in the Championship. And our last win at all ever was the Goldstone Stadium, 21st of October 1989, but that was the second division in a 3-0 win. But if we can correct it and finally get the win, then it might be one of those games where Chelsea drop points and we could actually be, I think we're 2 points ahead of them. I'll post it up on the screen. I'll put a comment if that is wrong, but we could be 5 or could be 3 if they draw. But we've just got to, we'll just see. We'll just see. But I know they've got Forest in the last game of the season. I just went back there and checked the name of the right back who got sent off in there, but it was Ben Johnson. Now, Bruno Guimaraes was skipper, is on 150 appearances, so that's brilliant. Well done, captain. 150 appearances for the club, and he's won our trophy. Absolutely fantastic. It's unreal, that. The player who cleared the chance off the line, I just quickly went away there and I've edited this in, was Wolfenden. He's the one who headed it over. His name's such a mouthful. I couldn't remember that off the top of my head. But yeah, we dominated them, 78% possession. It's the most ever recorded in a Premier League game since they started doing the stats in 2003-04. And yes, getting on to the second goal, Kieran Trippier again at the heart of it. Was with Jacob Murphy from a corner involving Willock. It was Murphy just played it to the byline for Trippier and lifted it in. An absolutely fantastic header by Dan Burn, who literally and figuratively was head and shoulders above the entirety of all of Brighton's defenders and the keeper who they had in there. And Bruno as well. Poor Bruno almost got sandwiched and crushed by Dan Burn. So fortunately he was alright. He didn't survive Sula's shot later in the game after Sula had scored his third, but I'll come on to that. But I believe at that point, obviously, it was that comfortable that Eddie Howe could bring on, not all at once, but he made 5 subs and bringing on Botman, Miley, Gordon, Asula and Wilson. And yes, how many subs made an impact? Well, Botman wasn't on long enough. Miley was tidy. It was a game where, yeah, with his technical ability, his calmness on the ball, it was one way he can help just see that out. I mean, we just played that second half in front of the 18-yard box. It was just a case of dragging them left and right and out of position to create chances in space. So yeah, like I said, it was just a training exercise. And then the third goal duly come, and everyone's absolutely delighted. Will Asula scored against lower league opposition, but now he's finally off the mark in the Premier League. And you know what? That was a fantastic header. The fact that he used the power of it coming across the box to head it back in the direction it came into the far corner. That looked like a finish from a seasoned pro. And then his little dance at the end, and then Bruno joined in. Just shows the feel-good factor at the moment. But yeah, absolutely delighted for Asula. As I've said, he's raw, rough around the edges, but look, you know what? The lad, his attitude's spot on. He's infectious, he's bubbly, and he just gets you off your seat because he tries things. Even with Wilson, like Wilson came on, and I do think Wilson's come to an end. It does feel like that his career here, but I know the game's gone. But like, I've got to say this: at least Asula still tried to affect the game. and show that he deserves to play more games. So I'll be playing him over Wilson, because Wilson just doesn't look right after his latest injury, and that's sad because he's been great for our second highest ever Premier League goal scorer as it stands. But yeah, Wilson just doesn't look the same anymore. But yeah, 78% possession, 3-0 win, clean sheet. You can't complain at that. It's job done. We're back up to third place. Took advantage. In the past, this would have been a game where we slipped up in, but yeah, it was just such a comfortable match. No injuries. Obviously, Joe Litton, but that was pre-match. And yeah, job done. We'll move on to Brighton next Sunday, and that's what I'm excited to be going to. But I'm just going to wrap it up there. So yeah, absolutely brilliant, fantastic weekend, and the weather still continues to be amazing. I'm down here. I mean, look at this. I'll just swing round. I mean, there's the pool. I'd love to know if they're ever going to redevelop that, but the beach is absolutely round. There's so many people down the coast here, and the sea's looking nice too. So it's a beautiful day here down Tynemouth. As you know, it's one of my favourite places. But anyway, yes, most important thing though is Newcastle got the 3 points. The back up to third place. It's in our hands for Champions League football, and that's 20 wins from 26, which was remarkable consistency. But anyway, I'm going to wrap that up for now. I'll be back at the end of the week. I'll still post the quizzes and more content during the week, but I will be back. I'm probably not going to do a full video on Friday because Brighton's the Sunday, and we're going to Northampton on the Saturday night to break up the drive down. So I'll bring the video from Northampton on Saturday, and then I'll do one from the Amex pre-post match before next Sunday when we play Brighton. But yeah, it's been a bogey ground. We've only won there with Mo Diarme's absolute fluke of a goal all those years ago. So yeah, it's time to right some wrongs. We want to be playing Europe's best again next season. We shouldn't be going to places like Brighton, who are massively inconsistent, and fearing them. But anyway, that's it from me for now. Thank you so much for watching. From me, a beautiful Tynemouth. I hope you're having fantastic rest of your weekend, and I'll see you at the back end of the week. Have a good one. Take care. Bye bye.